it didn't end in the most comfortable of circumstances. Certainly once Forest got on the score sheet themselves from a beautiful counter-attack. I mean, they broke with pace with Elanga and in 1 year as well. They didn't make it easy for Arsenal. And then it did look a little rocky at one point, but obviously they came through and won it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, look... I mean, they threw the kitchen sink, didn't they, at Arsenal at Nottingham Forest? And they were hanging on for long periods. They were creating chances. And, you know, a wonderful goal by Saka, and Martinelli's performance on the left was terrific. And Declan Rice had settled in. And, you know, there's lots and lots of good things. But Forest they hanged in there and got their rewards. The goal was a terrific counter-attack. Brilliant. Yeah. You know, all about pace. Like you said, Elanga, a 1 year, the way that he's finished it. And by the way, I was surprised he was left out, because he was Forest's top goal scorer last year and got a lot of vital goals. Maybe didn't quite have the pre-season. Obviously, Brennan Johnson looked like he'd been injured, which he had. He'd only had a week. He had a glorious chance. He opened the best chance of the game.
Indeed, early on,
yeah. But Forest dug in, kept going, and nearly got the reward. There was certainly a handball incident with Declan Rice, you could say, could have gone either way. Yeah,
Steve Cooper did speak about that afterwards, saying that he felt that maybe the on-field referee should have been given the chance to look at the monitor in that one. One thing that does annoy me a little bit that I've heard already this season is are people sort of managers and players sort of referring to, can't believe VAR didn't check it. Well, of course VAR would have checked it. They just didn't think it was necessary for it to be looked at on the monitor. But Steve Cooper obviously felt that they should have at least looked at it. Did you think it was a penalty from what you've seen of it? I mean, his arm is quite close
on this one.
I think his arm. It's not like his arm's outstretched, is it? But yeah, like I say, he feels it should.
Where was the one? Was it at Brighton with? Was it Dunk and the handball?
That was like an elbow, wasn't it?
That's as harsh as they come. I mean, that given a penalty was like, really? Are we giving penalties for that? Where you're basically I thought that was extraordinary. So if you're going on that's the marker, then Declan Rice is an absolute definite penalty for Nottingham Forest.
That is true. But listen, we were talking about the sort of nervy finish. The perhaps the game didn't end quite how Arsenal would have liked it to have done. Bearing in mind they had been quite comfortable for large parts of that game at the Emirates. Mikel Arteta spoke about it.
Well, first of all, really happy to win the first game. Obviously, it takes, and you start really good off the blocks. I think we totally deserve to win the game. That's the reality. We were super dominant, scored 2 goals, we should have scored more. But we didn't, and the Premier League 2-0 is not enough. And especially when you give something to the opponent, as they're a corner, and they break, and in 2 passes, they score a goal. And then it's game on. And then you have to hang in there. It's true that they didn't create anything, but you have that feeling of, please, ref, blow the whistle and let's go home. And it wasn't necessary today, but it's the reality. In the Premier League, it happens very often.
Yeah, I mean, that's the competitive nature, I guess, of the league. With regards to both teams, then, we've spoken a little bit about Arsenal and the sense of how competitive they might be going forward. And we should ask really about what you made of Declan Rice, because so many eyes are going to be on him for the next few games after how much money's been spent on him. Has he just slotted into that Arsenal team seamlessly?
Yeah. It's exactly the I would have worded it, seamlessly. I mean, Declan, he's a player that, you know, I would have played with in my career, that quality of just seeing them do things easily, and the ABCs of football, where you keep the ball, you move the ball, you don't do anything wonderful, you don't dribble past 3 players, but you affect everything that happens around you on the pitch. And Declan does that. For him and Thomas Partey, look, Odegaard is taking risks. Every time he gets on the ball, he's prepared to play that killer pass, that Kevin De Bruyne type of ball. He wants to do that. But if it gets broken, or if he gives it away, they swarm afterwards. And Declan done that 2 or 3 times yesterday, just robbed the ball off the opposition after it was given away by one of his teammates, normally Odegaard. That's the risk that you allow Odegaard, but you know now that between Partey and Rice, they can get it back really quickly.
Weekend Sports Breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. Sunday mornings from 6 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.